But
There we go.
hey, Nick, we potentially have a new landing spot for Julio Jones. The Seattle
Oh,
Seahawks potentially looking to make some moves for the
yep,
Falcons All-Pro.
yep. The
And
Seahawks.
yeah, that would be. You think that's Russell Wilson pulling those strings over there?
Got to be, or it's them trying to make Russell Wilson happy. It's one of the two. I think
Oh, for sure. I
if you're
mean, either
them,
way, it's going to make them happy.
so if you're them, you got to be looking around, right? And this makes sense, right? You're looking around. You're in the toughest division in the
Yep.
NFL next year by far. It's not even close. Like it's not even
Yep.
remotely close. And I mean, yeah, if you're the Seahawks right now, you might be kind of feeling like you're fourth in that equation, right? If
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
it depends. I think it depends on. I think most people feel like the Rams and Cardinals are probably ahead of the Seahawks at this point.
Yeah.
49ers, it's tough, but a healthy 49ers team, I mean, just made it to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. So I think, yeah,
Yeah.
man, I think they got to be looking to make a move here. I mean, this is, if they're if they're one of these teams that's offering a first round pick, like I don't think that's a bad idea. I have seen the other
Yep.
thing is what I find interesting. There were some rumors circulating that the Rams were potentially floating a trade opportunity for Julio Jones. So I think the Seahawks are
Yeah.
looking like, wait, that's in our division. We can't. I mean, we cannot let that happen. There's just no way.
Yeah.
And think about it, man. I mean, you keep hearing about all these teams with Julio Jones, and they're all such a good
Yep.
fit, right? We've heard Patriots
Yeah.
recently, we've
Yeah.
heard Cowboys recently, we've heard Rams recently, but the Seattle
Titans.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
If you put Russell Wilson out there, and he's got DK Metcalf and that freak of a human being, and I mean that in the best possible way, on one side of the field, and Julio Jones on the other side of the field. Like, I mean, what are you like? What defense is going to do anything with that? That is insanity. Like, that is, and you got Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. I mean, that is a
Yeah.
high-powered offense right there in the making. So, I think it would make that
Yeah.
division even more awesome.
Oh, for sure.
Um, but man, in the NFC, you just do have to wonder every time an NFC team is rumored, would they pull the trigger? Because if you're the Falcons,
Yeah.
and for example, Bill Belichick offers you a third rounder, which he got Randy Moss for, if we remember.
Yep.
He offers you a third rounder. He's sitting over there in the AFC East with the Bills in his division, and you have that option as a Falcon. Send him there, and we don't have to worry about him, or send him to the Seahawks,
Yeah.
who we very well could be, if we turn this rebuild around quick enough, as you and I have talked about how the NFL moves so fast, you might be the
Yep.
Falcons thinking like, yo, do we want to have to play Julio Jones in the playoffs in 3 years? Like, probably not. Probably don't want to do that. So,
Y-
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say. Like, what do you do? Do you take a
Yeah.
first
I
from the
I
Seahawks
tell you
where
what.
that's probably going to be a pick in the
Yeah.
20s? Or do you take a
Yeah.
third and you don't
It's
have to worry about him?
I tell you what, this Julio Jones thing is becoming a problem
It
because
is.
now you're starting to see the possibilities of where he can go, and it's like, wow, those teams get like double better. Essentially,
Yes.
is what it is.
Yeah, yes.
Because you're essentially any team for most teams he's probably going to get or that have been talked about. They've already have one great or one good wide receiver already. You know, that is a first man. So when you bring Julio Jones over, like that guy's obviously being the second wide receiver, and
Yep.
you're going to have a great 1-2 punch in that, and it's going to be dangerous. So I mean, if he goes to the AFC, I'm happy about it. But if he goes to the NFC, it just makes that division a little tougher. But we'll see. We'll see where it all when it's all said and done, where the chips fall. But it's definitely interesting to see it play out. These are kind of the storylines that I like. That doesn't really affect me too much with my fandom, but
Right.
it's interesting to see like where a top talent like Julio Jones goes and what the Falcons will get in return for a guy like Julio Jones. It's just always good to see that because it kind of resets the market for veterans and certain things like that when it comes to trades. So,
Yep. Yep.
I'm here for it. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But hey, it's this is what sports is about, especially off-season sports.